Hi, guys. I'm Dr. Jenny White, a dentist in Sarasota, Florida, and her fearless patient, Susan, with our podcast, Open Wide, Unfiltered Opinions Between a Dentist and Her Patient. Over the past 25 years or so, I've been sitting in a little room talking to myself all day, and I've gained a lot of wisdom through that process, which I want to share with you. We hope our podcast casts optimism and fearlessness to you so you can rise to the top, stay at the top, and dream bigger than you've ever imagined. And on today's soup du jour, we have aging gracefully. Susan, I'm super excited about this one because I'm going to come clean on my beauty regimen. Have I had filler? Have I had Botox? Have I had surgery? I do get asked in a roundabout way, and I'm sure you do too. And it's a roundabout way because that's what most Southern people do. They never come out and just hit you with the question. So I'm not going to lie. So everyone sit back, get comfy as we come clean regarding what we do to look as good as we look.
You know, this is radio, right? Nobody can actually see us. They'll be snoozing in 2 seconds flat.
Just picture Christy Brinkley, okay?
There you go.
And think of us.
Right. Actually, I want to change the name. I want to change it to Aging Skillfully because really that's what it requires is a lot of people, a lot of skills.
I like that because, you know, when I think of aging, I immediately think of procedures and products.
Oh, my God. And money. The money it takes to get. I mean, like every day there's an appointment, it seems like. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So who wants to go first? Would you like to divulge a little bit of your beauty secrets?
Well, no.
No? Okay.
Well,
Let me start. You know, I think this kind of hit me when I was in my 30s. And my mother, God rest her soul, she actually drop shipped a face cream to me. And the name of the cream was Spackle.
I know, you know, that's what you use on walls when you're putting up drywall and stuff.
My mother was a woman of few words, so Spackle
she was resourceful.
And
so she could use it for the drywall and for Jenny's face at the same time. I love it.
Well, she meant well, but when I asked her about it, she said, just put it on your face, Jenny. It'll help. So, you know, growing up as a Southern person, we worry about what everybody else thinks. It's like when you're born, you automatically start worrying about what everybody thinks. You never go to anybody's house either without having a gift. Never.
I know, that's
And when
true.
there's a wedding, you always give the silver platter as the gift. Like that is standard protocol for Southern people.
And so several people have several of those silver platters in a closet someplace. They're all black now because nobody ever used them, remember? Oh my God.
Well, but again, this was my introduction to the cosmetic world. Literally a jar of Spackle cream, which I used for a little bit. Didn't notice much difference, but I used it to appease my mother. But I do think it's important before we start laying out all of these things concerning aging skillfully, aging gracefully, aging in general, that it's very important to remind everybody that to be a beautiful human being, you got to have a positive state of mind. And I think everyone knows from our prior podcasts how we feel about that. Move your body, change your physiology, have a routine, meditate, Pilates, you know, just do exercise, do something. I was recently at a lunch with an 80-year-old gentleman, and I was telling him a little bit about the anxiety that I was having completing a pretty daunting task to me. And he looked at me and he said, Jenny, instead of having anxiety over it, why don't you look at all the changes and fun things that you could do? Basically, the 80-year-old gentleman was telling me, hey, don't forget to be positive. So positive state of mind and being in a great mood, if you can, is step number one to anti-aging. I'm going to now talk a little bit about, because I know everybody's dying to hear it, procedures and products.
Wait, I have a story.
Oh, do tell. I want to know.
Well, we talked about mothers, right? And I had a very beautiful mother. And she was a woman who took very good care of herself, and she took great pride in how she looked. So her nails were always beautifully manicured, and she woke up every morning, put on a beautiful outfit. She put on a full face of makeup. Her hair was done every single week at a certain time. Like even if she had like tuberculosis, she wouldn't miss the hair appointment. Like I had to plan weddings and funerals around when she was having her hair done. I'm not kidding. Like she took it very seriously. So when she was 84, she developed pancreatic cancer, and when it was clear she was dying, she and I had an opportunity to spend together on her like deathbed. Doing what often children do with their parents and plan out their funeral, and you've probably done that with your parents, right? It's a beautiful honor to do, but it's a very touchy time, right? So I'm sitting on her bed, I'm taking notes, and she on Thursday night she wants to have a wake with an open casket, and on Friday she wants a Catholic mass, and she wants all these songs sung, and she wants all these psalms read, and here's who she wants to have speak, and here's who she doesn't want to have speak. I don't have them speak, right? And this and that. So we plan it all out. And it's a very poignant, beautiful moment. So then she lies back down and she thinks for a moment. She goes, oh, honey, one more thing. And she pulls me close, says to come over close to her mouth. I bring my ear down. I think this is the moment she's going to say, I loved being your mother. It was magical. You were a beautiful daughter. Okay, this is the moment I've been waiting for like my whole life. And instead she says, honey, make sure they do my hair okay in the casket, and make sure that I want that purple dress that's hanging. That's the dress I want to wear, and you can put the pearls on, but take them off before they close the casket. And I'm literally saying to myself, "Am I having this discussion with my mother right now?" And it sounds like a superficial story to tell her. She wasn't a superficial person, really, but it plays into she took great pride all of her life in how she looked and how her hair looked, and at the very end, she still wanted that to play out for her. And I just think it's a sweet memory anyway of me, of my mother. And it plays into the subject we're talking about right now.
That's a beautiful memory.
Yeah.
And I have a very similar memory with my mother when she had terminal cancer. And it's not that they're vain people, but there's just there's a little sense of pride and dignity.
It's pride and dignity. Those exactly the right words.
Till the very end.
Yeah.
I also have a girlfriend who lives on a farm in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia. And, horses, dogs, cats, kids, the whole thing, like a real farm. Even she colors her hair. So for everyone out there that's thinking, this isn't for me, I don't need cosmetic things. I'm not going to do Botox. I hear you. I hear you. But my girlfriend who only sees people when she really wants to, when she removes herself from her farm, she even colors her hair.
Yeah.
So it's just have an open mind to all of this.
Yeah, except I have the reverse of that story. So I spend a lot of time in a rural part of the United States. And these girls, they could care less. They haven't plucked, waxed, dyed, polished, or anything for years. And they're fine with it. They're like totally fine with it. So they are very naturally aging. Not so skillfully maybe, but they're naturally aging. And there's something to be said about that too, which is also okay.
It's all okay.
Yeah.
That's the point of this podcast. It's all okay. And it's all our choice. And we need to be confident with our choices. Those people that live in the rural areas, which I come from a rural area, so I get it. If you pluck them and you put them in Miami or you put them in LA or you put them in, I guarantee you something would get waxed, something would get colored.
Yeah, you're probably right.
At some point.
Maybe social pressure or peer pressure. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Societal pressure for sure. For sure. Yeah. So anyway, I've said for a long time, I only do cosmetic procedures because I'm in the public eye. My patients, I'm 3 inches from your face. You're looking at my face.
Well, to be honest, all we're really looking at is your teeth.
And
how does she get those teeth so white?
I do floss my teeth.
They're nice and straight.
But tying back into your mother and that story, I find there's a sense of pride and dignity. I'm not trying to get anything by doing what I do. I'm not trying to climb a ladder. Thankfully, I'm done with that. I just want the pride and the dignity of my remaining years on this planet, having some fun with myself and feeling good and looking good.
Feeling good, looking good, and how you present yourself to the world. And I think that's a lovely gesture and a lovely trait.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to say that we probably have some gals, especially listening, who are not elderly, who are still young, possibly listening to this podcast. So I
Okay,
just
well, we're not elderly either.
not elderly, middle whatever,
Okay.
middle whatevers. Not we're not falling off the
Justin
cliff
Bieber.
just yet. Let me pull you back. But just some things that start to happen.
Yeah, like
so
the chin
that-
hairs. The
Oh.
second you turn 50, those chin hairs start popping out. And now they're all, I look like Colonel Sanders if I don't. I
So-
am not kidding you.
So okay, thinning hair. I made a list. Thinning hair. Your hair just starts to thin and it starts to gray.
Yeah.
Like without you doing anything, you're just walking along, singing a song, and boing, your hair grays. You get sometimes hormonal acne. You can be acne free for 20, 30 years. You get into that menopause, boom, we got some acne going on. Wrinkles. Shall we discuss the wrinkles, especially around the mouth? Like, what is
Those are,
that?
I don't know. Those are harder to get rid of for sure. But I just had Morpheus 8 done, which is a needling technique that helps the collagen and the elastin in your skin come back out. And I've noticed it really plumped up some of my finer lines and wrinkles.
We should reference that in the show notes. What's it called again?
Morpheus 8. And
Morpheus
when
8.
we have my plastic surgeon / dermatologist, Dr. Winnie Lee, on a
Fantastic.
podcast in the future, we'll have to ask her more about it.
We can get the particulars. Another thing, I used Bare Minerals powder makeup in the early 2000s, used it forever and ever and ever. And all of a sudden it gets stuck in my wrinkles. So how powder makeup gets stuck. The angry 11s in between your eyes, where did they come from? Your eyebrows disappearing. You have to switch up your cardio routine because your body is in pain. You can't do things that you once could do. Why? I mean, we're just walking along through life and this stuff starts to happen. The weight staying in the middle of our bodies.
Oh, yeah.
What
That's a
the
problem.
heck? Crepey and dry skin. And as a dentist, I have to throw in your mouth being dry, inability or difficulty sleeping, the reading glasses phenomenon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although now they're so cool looking. Like the ones you have on are really cute right now. So
Aw.
even if you don't have a problem with your eyes, you tend to wear them anyway because they're cute.
Back
right?
at you. Yeah, but I can't really read the label in the grocery store
Yeah.
unless I have the glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then God help you if you go out to dinner and you put that purse together to go with your outfit and you don't put readers in there.
Right.
Forget it.
That's what salmon is for. You just order salmon.
Forget
every
it.
time you go to a
Salmon or
restaurant.
spaghetti, whatever. So I'm not a scientist, but I'm going to take a couple of those weirdo things that happen and let's discuss the science of it. Fat. When the estrogen level drops, especially around menopause, fat tends to shift from our hips and thighs to the abdomen. And also, if you're under a lot of stress and you have a terrible diet, eating a lot of processed foods, for example, that can cause fat to stick in your abdomen. This never happened in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, really. It's just, mid 40s that it started to happen. Okay, skin. The outer layer or the epidermis, and your doctor friend can really help us with this, thins and our oil production in our skin decreases. So we get dry, itchy, irritated skin. We lose collagen, we lose elastin, and that's why we get sagging skin or wrinkles. And the blood vessels. You've noticed people that have bruising all over. As we get older, the blood vessels get thinner and more fragile, which makes bleeding and bruising more common. And then with the hair, you lose melanin, which causes your hair to turn gray or white. And there's less oil in your hair, so your hair gets duller or drier looking.
So are you going to offer any solutions to this, or are we just bitching about it for the next
Oh, we just started the podcast, honey. Hold on for the ride.
Okay, good.
And you know what I think that'll help us get through this aging crisis that we're talking about here? Your cocktail.
Oh.
What do we have in store today?
Okie dokie. So we have a, actually we have it could be both a cocktail or a mocktail. And so I've been drinking this stuff called kombucha. Do you know kombucha?
Sure.
It's that fermented, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it mimics eating fermented foods, which they say you should do for probiotics in your gut and for other good things. So anyway, I get this one called Health Aid Kombucha. You can get it right at the local supermarkets. Today we're going to have ginger lemon, but I sometimes put vodka in it so I can be
A
halfway healthy.
spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Right, there you go. So, so that I can be somewhat healthy. If I'm out drinking, I'll bring a bottle of kombucha with me. But it's also great as a mocktail. And this particular company has lots of different flavors. Today we're going to have ginger lemon. But yeah, it's got good bacteria. It's good for your health. It's got good probiotics.
And we'll list this one in the show notes as well. This
Okay.
looks really great. You know, the one thing about fermented kombucha to me, you hand me a bottle with little things floating around in it as you shake it up, and I go, let me drink that. I mean, but it is so yummy, the kombuchas.
Well, it's actually an acquired taste because it's got real tang to it. So not everybody likes it right away.
Okay.
But I've developed a real taste for it, and now I really
you.
love drinking it. So here you go. Here's to our health. And here's to aging gracefully. This particular cocktail does not have vodka in it, but it certainly could. Oh my. That does have a tang with the ginger.
That's a tang with the ginger and the lemon.
Yeah, it tastes great.
But this
though.
is good for the gut.
Yeah, right. It's good for the gut. It's
Everything
good for
starts with the gut.
biomes. It detoxes you.
The
It's
microbiome and all
yeah.
of that.
yeah.
There's so much, you know, the human body is amazing. And just what this stuff does to help us is truly magical.
All right. So there you go. That's our drink for the day.
So as we carry on here
Yeah.
in our aging discussion, I'm probably going to need some vodka in that drink to help me get through this next part. Because also when I was in my 30s, and excuse me, the kombucha is causing me to
I know,
a little
tang in your
zing in the throat,
yeah.
but it's good. I was sitting in a pretty prominent hair salon in Sarasota, Florida, and I had just had my hair washed by my hairstylist, and then I had the towel on, and I was sitting off to the side next to this lovely, very elegantly dressed elderly woman, and she had her hair up in the towel. We're waiting for the stylist to finish up and, you know, take us and finish our hair. She turns and looks at me and she says, "Honey, you're such a beautiful girl. You should do something about those 11s."
Oh my God.
Oh,
And you're like, what? What are those?
I don't know if we're allowed to say it on air, but I thought, biatch,
Yeah.
you handle your own 11s and 12s and 13s and 14s. I didn't even know what 11s were.
Yeah.
But she motioned with her little fingers, you know,
Right.
like 11s. And and then I started looking in the mirror and I'm going, what can be done about that?
Yeah.
What do
Well,
you do about
obviously
that?
you found a solution because they're not there right now.
I started Botox.
Mhm.
That's what we did. So, and I only put it in between my eyes. I don't have a beauty schedule. You know, when I look in the mirror and I feel ugly, that's when I call my dermatologist and I'll have whatever done. But I've got even more funny story about the Botox. So, and you know, for me, being in the healthcare industry, I was envisioning putting Botox in between my eyes. It's going to seep into my eyes. I'm going to go blind. It's going to paralyze my eyelid. I'm not going to be able to work. I'm going to have to become a recluse, all from Botox. I finally got over that and did the Botox here and there for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And then, because I believe my Sicilian German background, the Botox stopped working. It did absolutely nothing. The muscles in my Sicilian German face were so strong, knocked Botox right out.
I didn't know that was a possibility.
Oh yeah, stick with me. I'll teach you a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So leave it to my amazing dermatologist. We should have her on the podcast too. She introduced me to filler. And she said that the filler can do exactly what the Botox did. And I do it a lot less frequently. So maybe once a year.
On the 11s?
Yeah, on the 11s.
I heard you're not supposed to do it on the 11s.
Well, I don't know, but I get it
I'm
on
not
the
a
11s.
dermatologist. What do I know?
But maybe once every year, year and a half, maybe 2
Really?
years. Yeah, it lasts forever.
Oh, my.
Now, I'm not saying that this stuff is inexpensive. It's not. And I'll tell you, I want to talk about facials too, Susan, and when I get there, I'm going to talk about how I used to do my own facial when I was broke and I had no money.
We all did that.
Yeah, you boil the water, you put your face over the water with
Yeah.
a towel over your head.
Which actually, I think that probably ruined our skin because we got very close to that hot water and we came out looking like we were sunburned. No, that was very bad for us. But yeah, we all did that.
We used the masks from CVS or Walgreens, to put on.
Sludge. We could have just gotten motor oil from our dad. Put that on.
But anyway, so yeah, I started doing the filler, and that's really been wonderful for me. I mean, it's something that I don't have to spend as much money on. I don't have to go in for so many appointments, and I do it very, very sparingly. So I feel like I've put a little bit of myself on this podcast table. Susan, go ahead and put a little bit of yourself on the podcast table.
I've already talked about, this Morpheus thing that I just did, which I like a lot. And I think I'm going to continue to see results over the next several weeks. Take several weeks for the collagen and the estrogen, whatever, to kick in. I too get my 11s done. But I had heard that you couldn't use fillers for that. Although I did use fillers for what these things are called, manual folds. What are these things called?
Oh, the marionette lines.
You're the doctor. No, these are the marionette lines.
Oh, okay. So they're
things?
the parentheses around our
parentheses,
lips. Yeah.
And I had marginal luck with that. Sometimes it'd be lumps where the filler didn't go where it was supposed to. But it still was nice. The very first time I had Botox, though, one of my eyebrows shot up like this, and it didn't come down for like 3 months. So I looked like one of those cartoon characters that was always like, with their eyebrows up, like what? I looked startled all the time. So you have to be careful about who does it. Like it really should be a dermatologist as opposed to one of those anesthetician salons, I think, just because they know what they're doing, presumably. So that was a bad experience. Yeah. So I also had eye surgery done when what is this called? You're the doctor. What is this called? That thing that's
the
over
upper
your
eyelid starts to
ectomy,
the blubectomy, the eyectomy, the blubectomy.
Right.
We are on it.
We should have really done our research before we got on this podcast. Anyway, that got done. Yeah. So, anything else you want to know?
Did the eye procedure? What was the healing time like with that?
I don't remember that being very long. It was some time ago.
You look great.
Well,
your skin looks great.
Anyway, I don't remember it being that long, but yeah.
Well, so I have this massive fear.
One other thing.
Go ahead.
I did have my skin burned off. What is that called? Not burned off. I'm being facetious.
Face fire?
No, the laser. I had laser treatment on my face like maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
Yes.
And I think that I'll probably do it again. But that does have a downtime of like at least a full week. You can't be out in the sun. You don't want to be out because you look very red, very swollen, kind of scabby.
I personally only like doing things that I can heal in 3 or 4 days from. I can't. I have such an active life.
Right. Exactly,
I can't be down or take the week off. And I don't want to take a week of vacation to sit and, watch 174 million hours of Netflix.
Right. No, I agree with that. And you can't exercise. So that's all.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it drives me crazy too.
Yeah. My dermatologist also introduced me, and I'm sure it's got a fancier name, but it's a carbon dioxide laser peel. And let me just describe this for you. So you have to arrive at least 30 minutes before the procedure because she puts this pharmaceutical grade numbing cream all over your face and neck. And then they take literally saran wrap and they wrap you. They cut out a little hole for your eyes and a little hole for your nose and mouth. And they wrap it on as if that helps it penetrate into your skin better. And after you sit with that numbing cream on, she could drill a hole in my head and take my brain out, and I would not know. That stuff is really potent and amazing. So the carbon dioxide laser, I'm laying there, and she says, Jenny, I just got this new laser. I really want to try it. I said, great. She pulls this big tube up to my face, and I said, what's that for? And she said, the smoke.
What's smoke?
So the carbon dioxide laser peel, it's like a zap, zap, zap,
Okay.
but it's literally burning
Burn your
off the
skin.
outer layer
Yeah.
to allow, I guess, the collagen to increase and to
Yeah.
improve your
But
texture.
can you smell it?
Oh.
Oh, God.
So the first time I did that, my eyes swelled shut. And I said to myself, no, this isn't for me. But I do maintain it on my neck and décolleté
Okay.
because I think it makes a difference as far as my skin texture goes. But it is a little shocker device that makes smoke. And, I did it once and I learned a lesson about my eyes. And so I'm not doing that again, but I'll do it on my neck and décolleté.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I know a couple that I think are the most beautiful people I've ever laid eyes on. And the trick is, they're in their mid-whatevers also, but the trick is they're not going in and having a full facelift, 1, 2, 3. They
Do one side first. And
They-
the other.
No, they go in and they'll do a little something here, maybe 2 things a year, 1 or 2 things a year that they'll have done. And they go to really competent people. They're not, doing this in the mall. And they look beautiful. They look happy and rested
We'll see if you can find out what they do.
all the
Get
time.
the regime.
Oh, they tell me, but it'll be different things that crop
Well, I know,
up.
but
Like
like-
maybe it's this, or maybe it's that, maybe it's that. Oh, I've got the notes.
Oh, good.
I've got the notes because I figure as we go along in life, Susan,
We're gonna need
we're
'em.
going to need to up the game.
That's for sure.
I don't know. I do not have any desire to use a knife on my face. I don't knock anyone that does it ever. I'm a huge proponent of women doing whatever women need to do to feel great about themselves. But for me, going under the knife is just something that I don't know, I'd like to stay away from.
Yeah. Well, you don't need it at the moment either. So when you need it, you might want to revisit that thought.
Yeah, that's true.
You asked a question about facials, though. Do you do hydrofacials, or what kind of facial do you normally do when you go have facials?
So I've done a hydrofacial and I felt like it was a robot that was doing, not a robot, but machinery doing most of the stuff to me. And I love the human touch. I love the esthetician touching your face, massaging your skin, working it in, doing all of that. Going when they go up the neck,
Yeah.
like blah, 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 blah. And they're like making my double chin look
flap.
like a fortune.
Yeah.
I love that. So the hydrofacial, it was great, but I didn't really like it. I just go for a general facial.
Okay. Well, is it the hydrofacial that has the sucking vacuum or whatever it is? It vacuums out all the pores. And then she said, "You want to see it?" And one time I said yes, and that was a big mistake. So then I went home and like every time I would scrub my face like within an inch of its life, because the stuff that gets caught in those pores that gets out with this hydrofacial,
It's amazing.
yeah.
It really is amazing. But it's kind of like when somebody has their tooth extracted and the oral surgeon says, "You want to take a look at this sucker?"
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. So that brings me to, we need a tip of the podcast, Susan.
Okay.
And I'm hoping it's something to do with turning back the hands of time.
Well, let's see here.
The answer
Hang
is,
on.
the answer is,
Well, no. So I found this article that's 50 things you never knew you could do with toothpaste, because God knows you don't know what to do with toothpaste except put it on your teeth. I've discovered in these podcasts, and I think dentists should really know this stuff. I think it's very important. Like, here's one.
I agree.
Did you know that you can make your diamonds sparkle more with toothpaste?
No.
Yeah. So you take toothpaste and you wash your diamond, and it comes out sparkly, sparkly, sparkly.
Does it work on cubic zirconia too? Because that's more my,
I don't know. That's a good question.
it's more my speed.
Yeah. So anyway, it's got nothing to do with really anti-aging, because, you need to do all the things we already talk about all the time: sleep better, exercise more, blah, blah, blah.
But it is part of anti-aging, because when we put some sparkle around us,
Yeah, there
it
you
can
go.
detract from that sagging skin. So thank you.
Okay, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Well, in closing, I think that aging is not a decline. It presents opportunities for us as women to let go of expectations, let go of any regrets you have about whatever, do what you need to do to feel great about yourself, and don't look in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, and I want to get back to the point we made on the beginning of the podcast about whole dyeing your hair thing. I have a cousin who grew gray when she was in her late 20s, early 30s, and she dyed her hair for many, many years, and now she's stopped doing it, and she has a beautiful head of gray hair.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how your gray comes in. Let's start with that. But I mean, it's also, you could rock that too. In fact, we just saw one just now. She's a beautiful head of hair.
I love her hair.
Gray, yeah, and so rock it if you got it. I don't think I have. I think I have mousy gray, but
You know what? I love that. Rock it if you got it.
yeah.
And you know what? With that, I'm going to wrap this podcast up.
Okay.
And rock it if you got it.
Yay.
We thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please share this show with friends and family and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss weekly drops. Stay strong, dream big, and floss your teeth.